Nairobi is a city of two worlds. In daylight, the markets overflow with voices, the streets pulse with life. But when the sun dips beyond Ngong Hills, another world wakes. A world without laws, a world without childhood, a world where shadows are bought and sold. In the glow of a broken streetlight, a young girl waits. She's wearing a thin dress, the cold biting her skin. Every car that slows makes her heart race. Her name is Amina. She is only 16. She remembers her childhood, the smell of chapati on Sunday mornings, the laughter of her little brother as they chased each other in the maize fields, the way her father's strong hands would lift her onto his boda so she could ride like a queen. Life was simple, but it was theirs. Then her father died in a road accident. The sound of wailing in the village that night still echoes in her mind. Her mother became quiet, her body giving way to sickness. The shamba dried, the debts grew, and hunger became their daily visitor. One afternoon, a well-dressed woman arrived in the village. She had a warm smile and carried a small bag of bread and sweets for the children. She told Amina's mother about a job in a Nairobi hotel kitchen. Good pay, free meals, a place to sleep. She'll be able to send money home every month, the woman promised. Amina hesitated, but the thought of her mother struggling alone was too much. She packed a small bag, one dress, a comb, and a folded photo of her family, and boarded a bus with the woman. She waved through the window until her mother's figure was just a blur. That bus ride was the last moment she truly felt free. She never saw the hotel. Instead, she was taken straight to Mombasa's old town, to a building with boarded windows and a locked gate. Inside, the air was thick with cigarette smoke and cheap perfume. The madam told her she owed money for the bus fare, the food, the arrangements. Until she paid off the debt, she would work for them. The rules were simple. Do as the clients want, don't try to run, and if you do, your body will be found in the ocean. Life in the brothel blurred into a nightmare. The rooms were small, with stained sheets and walls so thin she could hear the cries of the other girls. Some were younger than her. Some had been there for years. They whispered to each other in the dark, warning newcomers never to trust anyone, not even the police. Mombasa's beaches, Malindi's resorts, and Diani's nightlife hid this reality from the tourists who came for sun and sand. But behind closed doors, girls like Amina were traded for cash, for drugs, for favors. Amina's story is not unique. In Kenya's coastal counties alone, an estimated 2,426 children, aged 13 to 17, are trapped in commercial sex. Nearly 7 children every single day. Some are as young as 12. Nationwide, online exploitation is exploding. Between 5 and 13% of internet-using children aged 12 to 17 report being coerced into sexual activities online each year. 7% say sexual images of them were shared without consent, about 350,000 children in 1 year. They are trafficked to Middle Eastern countries like Saudi Arabia and the UAE, or moved between Kenyan towns, Kisumu to Nairobi, Eldoret to Mombasa. Behind it all is an industry worth billions of shillings. Hidden brothels, street corners, massage parlors, even upscale apartments in Kileleshwa and Kilimani. Recruiters are often women, neighbors, relatives, friends of friends. Transporters are boda riders, matatu crews, or corrupt bus companies. Madams manage the brothels, paying bribes to police and local officials to avoid raids. Clients range from truck drivers on the northern corridor, to wealthy businessmen, to foreign sex tourists. Some children are drugged to keep them compliant. Others are beaten into submission. Kenya is fighting back, but the war is uphill. In 2019, the country became the first African nation to connect to Interpol's International Child Sexual Exploitation Database. Specialized police units like the Anti-Human Trafficking and Child Protection Unit have rescued hundreds of children and secured dozens of convictions. A new national training manual teaches officers how to handle online exploitation, and internet cafes are under stricter watch. Yet corruption, underreporting, and stigma still silence victims. Many cases take years in court. Others disappear entirely. For Amina, the nights blurred into one endless nightmare. until one client turned violent. He reeked of alcohol and his voice was sharp. He shoved her, pulled a knife, and muttered threats she didn't understand. She screamed, but the music downstairs drowned her out. He slashed the air in front of her, and in that moment, she bolted. Barefoot, she raced down the corridor, her feet slamming against the cracked tiles. She pushed through a back door into a narrow alley, the stench of rotting garbage filling her lungs. She could hear the man yelling behind her, footsteps closing in. She turned a corner, nearly tripping over a stray dog, and ran towards the sound of the ocean. Her feet bled from sharp stones. Every shadow felt like another danger. She ducked behind a pile of crates, holding her breath as voices passed nearby. Then, when the street cleared, she ran again, through dark lanes, past flickering lamps, until her legs gave out. Hours later, she found herself crouched near a roadside tea stall. The woman selling tea looked at her torn dress, the bruises, the blood. Without a word, she handed her a cup of hot chai and pulled out her phone. Minutes later, a van from a rescue NGO arrived. That night, Amina slept in a clean bed for the first time in months. The sheets smelled of soap. She cried until she fell asleep. Now she lives in a Nairobi safe house, learning tailoring and hoping to finish school. But for every Amina, hundreds remain trapped, in Majengo's backrooms, in Kilifai's ghost houses, on Diani's beaches. They live and die in silence, hidden in plain sight. And if we stay silent, the shadows will grow. Childline Kenya, 116. GBV Hotline, 1195. Missing Child Kenya, 0800-223-344. If the story moved you, don't let it end here. More untold truths are waiting to be heard, and your voice can help bring them to light. Subscribe to this channel, turn on the bell, and stand with us in telling the stories that the world tries to hide. Together, we can pull more children out of the shadows.